Welcome to part two of assessment. I'm Reno Giovanetti, the instructional technologist here at College of the Redwoods, and we're going to be talking about paper submissions. So in this module, we're going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of creating online paper submissions. We're also going to look at the Canvas Speedgrader workflow. That's going to help provide better feedback to your students, and it's going to save you time in the process. So what are the advantages to creating an online paper submission for your students? Um, they're easy submissions, anytime, any place. They can easily be routed through Turnitin.com. It's the plagiarism screening site that we use, and the students don't have to log in separately. They can simply just submit their paper to Canvas. Canvas will submit the paper to Turnitin.com, and Turnitin.com will give the report back to you and to your students. They'll be able to see it right in Canvas. There are good feedback opportunities throughout the process. Speedgrader, the annotations in there, and the rubrics, all of these can be combined and used on an online submission. It also provides an opportunity for students to practice their online education skills, creating document files, uploading those files, and editing them. And it's going to save you some time as well. There are also some disadvantages to online paper submission. Students are going to have to learn how to create and submit document files. You may need to create demonstrations or provide documentation that's going to help the students to create the documents in the format that you want and to be able to submit them to Canvas. As instructors, you're going to need to know how to use the grading tools, the speed grader, the rubrics, and how to use those tools to provide the proper feedback to your students. Sometimes there are going to be technical issues for your students having to do with their internet connection or the software on their computer that's going to prevent them from being able to either create the documents or prevent them from being able to submit them. So what is the Canvas Speed Grader? The Speed Grader is a tool that can provide feedback on any graded assignment, quiz, or discussion. I've provided a link here to a nice video from Instructure about how to use the SpeedGrader, but I want to talk about some of the highlights, some of the major features of SpeedGrader. So SpeedGrader provides inline commenting on student submissions for Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, and PDF files. In addition to being able to leave these inline comments, it provides access to any rubrics that you might have created for your assignments. I've left some links here to some documentation on how to use the speed grader and the features that it has. In addition to being able to make inline comments for PDF files and Word documents, Canvas can preview just about any file that a student can upload. So if you have an Excel file or you have some other file format that's not supported for inline comments, you will still be able to see the document and you can still leave comments in the sidebar, but you won't be able to make those inline comments or mark up the document like you can for the other formats. Students and instructors can download the annotated version of the documents to a PDF file, and I've left you a link to some instructions on how you can do that. One other thing to note is that the annotations that you leave in a Word document that go into the PDF file cannot be read by a screen reader. So if you have a student that needs to use a screen reader program, you want to make sure that you either duplicate those comments in the sidebar or just leave the sidebar comments. Let's just take a quick look. We're going to go into the sandbox and we're going to look at the speed grader. So you can get to the speed grader from any assignment. You can either get to it from the grades tool or you could go directly to the assignment. Anywhere in the grades tool, if you come to an assignment, you can use the drop down box over here and you can access the speed grader. So if you open up the speed grader, what you're going to see is it's going to open up a student and it's going to open up a paper. So here's our student, and we can pick a student who's already has some comments made on their paper. You can see that I can create a box and leave a side comment. I can also view a rubric for an assignment. So if I've got my comments here and I click on view the rubric, I can come in and fill out the rubric, putting in points and select the points, and it will calculate the grade for me. So I can do the inline comments, I can do the rubric, and when I'm done with that, I just go to next student and I can start working on the next student's paper. So I can do strikeout, I can put text in, um, and there's add area comments, I can highlight. There's all sorts of things that I can do to mark this document up, and then as soon as I'm done, and if I've filled out the rubric, I can just go to the next student and continue on. So a very nice workflow. I don't have to download or upload the documents. I've got my rubric right here to compare with. A really nice tool. I'm sure you're going to want to learn a little bit more about the Speedgrader.